everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another episode review of 911, which was written by my god sister Lindsay Boye. She did an excellent job. This episode was really good. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, mom, daughter, bucket list out of a plane, 60-30. Dad died, mom's weird. Daughter, apprehensive, but she hasn't given her mom any grandchildren to take care of. So now we're bucket listing out of a plane with a parachute. Okay, now they have the one guy instructor who's there with them. The plane hits an air pocket, he goes up, falls down, gets a concussion, falls out of the plane, but is held by his parachute that is stuck onto the wall inside the plane. They called 911. So now Bobby, Eddie, Buck, and the crew have to figure out a way to get this man from the bottom of this plane that is currently in the air. Bobby tells the pilot to try to get as low to the ground as he can because they're on the same airplane track with the fire truck under the plane trying to catch the man who is hanging on by the parachute rope. The first time they did it, he was going too fast, so he had to circle back around. The second time, I cannot believe that Eddie and Buck were actually able to get that man unconnected and down before the plane passed them. Child, it was scary. We didn't know if he was gonna make it. If they didn't catch him that time, that man was gonna die. But they got him. They got him down. Everybody was okay. Turns out, the mom was actually trying to hook her daughter up with the instructor, Stefan. Child, mama, stop. Now she's trying to hook her up with one of the firefighters. Girl, let that lady find somebody on her own. Leave that lady be. Athena, Bobby, and Michael talk to the kids about this tumor he has. Y'all know we found out at the end of the break last year that Michael had a tumor in his brain. It hasn't grown and it hasn't shrunk. So now he thinks the best course of action is to get the tumor removed. And it's a really scary brain surgery. And they're trying to talk to the kids as if it's not that big of a deal. The youngest, the son, you know, he kind of is like, okay, well, if y'all say it's okay, it's okay. We're going to focus on homework and whatever we have going on, you know, in regular life. May, the older daughter, on the other hand, definitely understands the severity of brain surgery and does her research and is obviously scared. Buck goes to the doctor's office and gets a clean bill of health. Y'all know he went through everything with his leg and the fire truck falling on his leg and everything that he had to do to, you know, get himself together for that and, you know. But Buck is in tip-top shape, saving lives out here. Chimney and Maddie are getting ready to have a birthday dinner for Chimney when his brother, well, his half-brother, as he keeps reminding us, Albert, shows up knocking on his door. His dad had actually called him and he thought his dad was calling because it was his birthday, but you know Chimney and his biological father are quite estranged. He actually has a family, Mr. and Mrs. Lee, there in America that are his real family. Their son was his best friend and he passed away, and since then they've been like surrogate parents to Chimney, but he still always wants, hopes, and dreams of having a relationship with his father. But the dad really just wants Chimney to send Albert back to Korea so that he can continue to do whatever the daddy wants him to do with his life instead of what Albert wants to do with his life. Albert doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, but he knows that his brother escaped and was able to do what he wanted to do. So he came to him for help because he didn't have anywhere to go and he doesn't want his dad running his life. So Chimney agrees to let him sleep on his sofa apprehensively, and probably only because Maddie said it would be okay. He's his brother. But Chimney is not feeling it. Chimney is definitely bothered by Albert showing up on his doorstep. Then we see a husband and wife. They're out fishing, I guess trying to get some relaxation. And the man caught the fish and he holds this little catfish up like that over his mouth for her to take a picture. And I guess the fish must have wiggled and slipped and actually went into the man's mouth and down his throat, and he was choking on a live fish. Y'all, oh my God, Henrietta had to actually get down into the man's throat to get the fish out because the gills and the spikes that are in the fish were like hitting the man's esophagus and inside his Oh my God, it was terrible. It was, oh my God, it was so terrible to watch that thing be in his throat like that. But they got it out and I think it was okay. But that was the most terrible. Like, you just don't even want to play like that anymore. If anything could possibly happen, it will. So I'm not joking with y'all no more, okay? That was crazy to me, y'all. Oh my God, terrible. Move on, please, let's move on. Chimney talks to his dad and argues with him about the decisions that he's made with his life. His dad does not see him as a firefighter saving people's lives. He doesn't see that as adequate. He feels like that's not good enough for his son. And I just kind of feel like, why, Dad? What are you doing with your life right now? Because saving lives is saving lives at the end of the day. Whether you do it at a hospital or before you get there, it's still saving lives. So I don't understand. Like, Chimney has the type of knowledge that could save anybody in any dire situation. So I don't understand why you wouldn't value that. Like, he tripping. Chimney talks to Buck, Eddie, and Bobby about his brother Albert, and everybody is excited to meet him because they see him as Chimney's family, so he's a part of their family. That's the way they see it, even though Chimney doesn't see it that way. Hen reminds Chimney that family comes in all forms as she's passing out these talking points regarding social services for her and Karen. You know, they're trying to become foster parents. So they're passing out these talking points so everybody can stick to the script. We don't have time to chance it. I know y'all know great things about us, but here are the main things. Okay, let's stick to the script. Thank you. We appreciate you guys. We've put you guys on the list. Y'all gonna receive phone calls from social services. Be there for your girls, okay? We're really excited for Karen and Henrietta because we know this is something that they really wanted, to have another child. And even though Karen couldn't go through IVF and actively have a baby herself, this is still a beautiful way to experience being a mother. So y'all, then we see a banker showing up on a man's property. Okay, the man has defaulted on his loan. The bank owns the house. He no longer owns it. They want him to vacate the property and, you know, sign the piece of paper. They're going to pay for his moving expenses, but he has to go. The man doesn't want to go anywhere. He's ignoring the banker. He's like, if you don't get off my land, I'm going to call the police on you. So the banker is like, okay, fine. I'm going to call the police and have them come here and escort you off the premises because you no longer own this house. You defaulted on your loan. The bank owns it. They had to keep telling him this over and over again, okay? But not in the Tyler Perry way, okay? So as soon as the man gets on the phone to call 911, he gets on the phone with Maddie, and the homeowner runs over the banker with the tractor. I said, did he run? Has he lost his damn mind? He lost his damn mind, okay? He then rolled over the man. Now the tractor trailer is on top of the man, and the man is kind of like in a hole, but the trailer is still on top of him and has punctured his gut. So now his intestines are on the outside, not the inside the way they should be. And the homeowner is standing there talking about, I can't believe I did this. He picks up the phone and gets on the phone with 911 and tells them what happened. They get there, they get the man and try to, you know, fix his intestines so that they can get him to the hospital in time to save him. And then the police get there to arrest the homeowner, and he can't believe he did it. And it's like, but you did it. You did it. You actually did do it. What is wrong with you? Like, I just kind of feel like it's never that serious that you feel the need to kill somebody for it. In the ambulance on the way to the hospital, the banker was like, I gotta change my life. I actually hate my job. I wish I had another job other than taking people's homes away from them. He said he wanted to be a firefighter, but he doesn't think he has the guts for it. It was funny. It was funny. Lindsay, this was really good writing. When they get back to the fire station, Albert is there, and Chimney is not happy that his half-brother keeps popping up, okay? Because everybody's all excited to meet him and everything. Henrietta introduces herself, and then they start to talk about why they call Chimney Chimney. So y'all, then we get the next case, which is a guy named Justin who is stalking this guy who frequents the same coffee shop that he does, okay? He is really cool with the girl at the register, and he's written his little poem on the back of a menu, and he really wants to talk to the guy, but he's been really scared. So he's kind of been low-key stalking him. The cashier tells Justin that the guy he's been stalking has gotten a new job and he won't be coming back to that coffee shop anymore. So he, you know, gotta holler at him while he can before he doesn't see him again, okay? So he runs out of the store to run behind the guy, and he actually runs into two construction workers who were carrying a beam. So he ran into it and like seemingly almost crushed his throat, his windpipe, y'all. It was one of the most terrible things I've ever seen on television. Like, oh my God, it hurt to watch. You know how when you got that lump in your throat when you're trying not to cry? Like, it was, oh my God. So he couldn't talk, so he couldn't say anything. And the guy who he was running after actually turned around and saw him when he went down and called 911, knew his name, knew that he may have a peanut allergy because he knows what he gets for coffee, his coffee order. He knows it. So the guy has been stalking Justin while Justin has been stalking the guy. It was like super cute. And then the cashier comes outside and reads what Justin wrote on the back of the menu, which was all of the things that he wanted to say to the guy he was stalking. And so then Chimney is like, do you want to go in the ambulance with him? And he was like, yes. So it's like, oh my God, you might have crushed your windpipe, but you got your man. And I think everything's gonna be okay. It was so cute. I loved it. So y'all, Chimney's dad is blowing up his phone about sending Albert back to Korea. But he and Maddie are meeting with the crew down at the bar to celebrate his birthday. Guess what? Albert is there. Albert thinks that Chimney got out of their father's house so that he can go and live this free life. But really, Chimney sees it as his father leaving him behind. Chimney resents Albert because he sees Albert as the child that his father loved, the only one that he really cared about. When all Chimney's life, that's all he's wanted, is to have the acceptance and love from his father that he feels Albert is getting. But Albert's, you know, side of things may not necessarily be that way. Chimney has been drinking. So as the conversation goes on, he lets it be known that he thinks Albert is trying to come and steal his family. And Albert is like, you're my brother. I don't want to steal anything from you. Chimney tells him, you're not my brother. My brother's name was Kevin and he died. You only came here because you needed something from me. And then Albert runs out and everybody's looking at Chimney like, really, dude? And he's like, yeah, I know I suck. After Maddie talks to Chimney and he talks about how he's always wanted his dad's love and approval, and Albert has gotten it. And he doesn't understand why he's there trying to take the little family that he's been able to scrape together for himself. Maddie reminds him that when she was in trouble, she ran to her brother. And that's probably why Albert ran to him. Even though y'all don't know each other like that, you're still his brother. And he still sees you as somebody that he could run to when he needs help, because he can't run to their parents. And she says that her parents are good people, but they weren't good parents. And they made mistakes with Buck just like they made mistakes with her. May goes over to Michael's apartment because she wants to talk to him about how she realizes how serious this brain surgery really is. And Michael expresses to her that he's been trying to be strong for her and her little brother because he doesn't want them to worry. And she's like, no, don't do that. You need to feel however you feel and do whatever you think you need to do, but don't worry about putting on a front for us. Michael says that without the surgery, he will probably die in 2 years or less. But he's terrified that if he doesn't have the surgery, he'll be still here but worse off. And he's also terrified of not seeing his children grow up, and that's why he's trying to prepare them for what could possibly happen. And May is giving him a child's advice because he has his will on the table, and she's like, you know, you don't need to be worrying about this, you need to be positive. And it's like, that's such a teenage thing for her to say, when in real life, as a grown man, a parent, a father, you can't live like that. You can't live like somebody that can only have a positive outcome. You have to plan for in case this shit happens, because it can happen. So I felt like I didn't like the fact that he actually took her advice and later on tells the family that he doesn't want to have the surgery. I felt like he took advice from the wrong person. She's too young to understand his viewpoint on things, you know, as the parent. And I'm upset that he decided not to have the surgery, because it's like, okay, the surgery could have went perfectly fine, and now you're leaving things to chance. So yeah, y'all, I don't know how I feel really about Michael deciding not to get the brain surgery. Chimney goes to Buck's where Albert has been staying, and they finally have the real conversation. Of course, Albert apologizes to Chimney for just showing up and using him, but Chimney has to explain to Albert what is really happened, about how when They came to America. They had been there for 6 years. His dad wanted to go back to Korea, but his mom didn't. And the dad thought that the mom would change her mind once he left and went back to Korea, but she didn't. She ended up getting cancer, and by the time Chimney was 15, she had died. And he was left to fend for himself. If it wasn't for Mr. and Mrs. Lee taking him in and helping take care of him, he would have been out here destitute. Meanwhile, his dad has created a whole nother family and can care less about what happens to him. That's how he feels. He feels like he was left behind, not like he ran away to have this free life. So once Albert understands that, I think he has a clear picture of how Chimney feels. And I don't think he understood that, because all he saw was that Chimney was free to make his own decisions in a way that Albert himself was not, because of his dad and how overpowering he can be. Like, oh my God, cut it out. Chimney tells Albert that he can stay at his place though, and I'm excited. I'm like, oh my God, so what is Albert gonna do? Is he gonna be here long term? Is he gonna be like another character? Is he going to join the firefighters? Is he gonna become like a paramedic? Like, what's gonna happen? I'm excited. Karen and Hen go to Children's Services to pick up their new foster baby, and she was so cute. Oh my God, little cheeks and everything. And then Chimney and Maddie have dinner with the Lee so that he can finally introduce her to his family. And I think this is finally when Chimney realizes that he has to stop resenting his father for not being there for him, because ultimately he has the better situation. He has a family that he's chosen and that has chosen him, and that is a better situation than Albert was in, because Albert is running from the daddy, and here you are with this, you know, perfect situation, these people who love you, who choose to be in your life and not control you at the same time. So Chimney has a better situation, a better family dynamic, and it took his brother coming into town for him to realize that. So yay, y'all, the episode was good. We're gonna see where the rest of the season goes. Y'all, I'm so scared about Michael. I'm so scared, like, tell y'all the truth, because y'all know I love me some Rockman Dunbar. But anyway, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I love y'all so much. Share the videos with your people, because you know they at home. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Be safe.